All right, so let's talk about it. I know there's a lot of really strong feelings about the recent vote, and we just need to go into it, and I know there's some really strong feelings, but I just want to address this directly. Now, y'all know I'm as big of a nu metal fan as anybody, but even I am surprised to see 80% of you went for nu metal, and I just think it's a little unfair to grunge. Only 22% with as influential as the grunge sound has also been. Again, I would pick nu metal myself, but just 22% of the vote, I thought it would have been a lot closer, and to have seen that, it just really undermines how much grunge has also contributed to rock. So I just thought there would have been better, and I just felt the need to address it. So I hope everyone's doing okay. I know y'all thought I was about to go on a rant there, but the presidential election is now over, and so many different musicians are weighing in on the results. There are people who voted for Trump. There are people who voted for Harris, and there are all sorts of responses to this. There are many people who are saying, hey, you know, your candidate won, congratulations. And there are some people who are downright furious about the results. But let's take a look at some of the responses to the presidential election here in the United States. Donald Trump was declared the winner of the presidential election, with the AP calling the race. Trump got 294 electoral votes, with Harris getting 223. Trump also won the popular vote, receiving over 72 million votes, with Harris receiving over 67 million. So one of the first people to respond we saw from Twisted Sister's D. Snyder, and I like him because he will express his opinions, but he does so in a really pragmatic way. He doesn't get furious about things, and he actually did not vote for Trump, but I thought he had a pretty classy response to the entire situation. This is what he said before the election. He said, "Today is the day. Trump doesn't have even close to a majority. If he wins, it means people lost sight of the big picture and either didn't vote or protest voted. That's still a vote for Trump. If that's what the American people want, so be it. I will accept it, but I pray it isn't." And so early this morning, he shared his reaction to the election results, saying, "Well, I was very wrong. The American people have spoken. I accept their choice." Bad Wolves and God Forbid guitarist Doc Coyle, who you've seen on this channel a number of times, also shared his views, and he predicted that Trump would win. He said, "If I had to predict, I would guess Trump is going to win. That's been the vibe for a while now. And if the poll averages are correct, he wins. He has recently gone up slightly in Nevada and Pennsylvania, but the poll averages have been off by about 2 to 3 points in most recent elections. Just depends in which direction. Hard to say. I always expect whatever the weirdest outcome is to happen." And it turns out Doc was correct. He shared the response to the election results, saying, "I'm kind of sick of saying I told you so." Now, I'm assuming both of them did not vote for Donald Trump, but they're offering clear-eyed analysis of the situation, even if they don't agree. And then you have former Skid Row vocalist Sebastian Bach, who was furious about the results and had quite the response to, I guess, his candidate not winning the election. Here's what he said. Sebastian Bach, who has been a vocal supporter of Vice President Harris, was outraged by the election results. He said, "America," in his post on X. Again, you've seen so many different people, whether they voted for Trump or not, that have just responded saying, hey, you know, it is what it is. He won the election, and Sebastian Bach hates America now. He doesn't like America because things didn't go his way. Seems crazy to me, especially given how much success he has had throughout his life in the U.S. But he didn't stop there. He said, "I don't want to be here anymore." To which a fan said, "Don't tell me you're going to move. Please don't. I love you and your music." He said, "This place sucks now." He added, "What the is wrong with you people?" And then another tweet saying, "Goodbye." Now, I'm not sure if he meant goodbye to America or goodbye to Twitter, but we know it's not Twitter because he just put out another post in response to this. And this was his message. "At the end of the day, rock and roll is all you got." And of course, there are plenty of artists who are also celebrating the victory of Donald Trump in this election. We saw Phil Labonte, the vocalist of All That Remains, and this band also has a brand new single coming out this week. Here's what it's called. Forever Cold, the band's new single, will release this Friday on November 8th. And in addition to being the frontman of All That Remains, Phil Labonte has had a lot of success being a political commentator as well. And so he talks politics pretty often, and he celebrated the victory of Donald Trump. Here's what he had to say. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States of America. He said, hey, Kamala Harris, with this video of Joe Biden offering a delayed smile as he exited a press conference. And he responded to this user who said this is unironically worse than 9/11. Phil will frequently share that video of himself laughing hysterically at responses that he finds to be ridiculous on X. Ted Nugent said, "Glory, glory, hallelujah, thank God." And Shinedown guitarist Zach Myers is also offering his response to the election results, and he's pretty funny if you're not following him on X. This is what he had to say. We're going to need to bleep this one. He said, "So you're telling me the woman who was one of the 7 writers on Wet Ass didn't sway the election?" Of course, there's been a lot of talk about celebrity endorsements in presidential elections. It seems like so many different celebrity endorsements happened for Harris, and clearly it didn't make that much of an impact. And obviously that is Zach responding to that. And we had Ronnie Radke kind of alluding to this as well after the election results. He said this: "2025 is the death of the Hollywood celebrity." Again, alluding to the celebrity in the past having a lot more influence over election outcomes. It didn't seem like that was much of the case here this time around. And Zach Myers continued on X. He said, "In all seriousness, people vote for whatever they think their lives need. We are what's important. How we choose to treat each other is what is important. Thinking Kamala or Trump give a fuck about you is not only idiotic, it's utterly delusional. Love leads always." And I agree with Zach Myers there. People need to treat each other better, but fortunately, the political ads are done and we can go back to just regular commercials and everyday life, and hopefully people not having to argue about politics all day. Anyhow, that is your latest update here from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.